talk about the Florida coaching job and who's the best fit? Just do that. You got a vote? No comment.
I don't got nothing to say on that.
Jonathan, how do you kind of react to the news about Zach today?
Well, it's unfortunate to lose a guy like Zach, leader of the team. He just in our thoughts and prayers throughout the whole team and the Bears organization, and you know, we're all here for him. Anything we can do to help him or his family. It's just a bad situation.
How did the team kind of react to being told, about possibility he might lose his leg and just the severity of the injury today?
I mean, no matter who it is, what team, you hate that. The NFL is a team, all teams, we're all together. You don't wish that on nobody. So I know he got love all around the league. Everybody's praying for him, and hopefully everything turns out all right.
How big of a loss is this not just for him on the field, but he's a really popular guy in the locker room as well?
I mean, it's a huge loss from, like you said, the field to the locker room, his personality, fun guy to be around. It just sucks for the team, but it's part of it. We're gonna, like I said, keep him in our prayers and try to fight forward. Next man have to step up.
You're obviously not on his side of the ball. You're not in his position or anything. And he's an older player. How have you kind of viewed him, just as he's worked into the team and been around for a little bit?
I mean, anytime a player is a go-to player like Zach is, you kind of just watch how he, been in the lead. So you watch the vets. You try to figure out how they've been in the lead so long. And shoot, the last week when we practiced in the stadium, I actually rode with him. So from here to there, I rode with him 2 days, and he always just a good dude. I jump on the back of the truck and he take me over there where I ain't got to walk. So it's just unfortunate.
Jonathan, at that moment in the game, on the field, heat of the battle, now you stopped. They keep replaying that horrible replay. What's going through your mind at that point?
I heard the reaction of the crowd at the time. Then I looked up. I kind of didn't want to look at it, but then it's one of those things you want to take a peek at, and I seen it on the replay. And that's just one of those situations where it's not much you can do but just drop down on your knee and send him a prayer up for him and his family that's watching home, or if they were at the game in the situation. So that's all I could do is just drop down and send a prayer up for him.
What was today like for you guys as you got back here and kind of learning the news and talking with each other about it?
It was announced to it. It wasn't really a lot of chit-chat about the situation. That's a bad situation. We don't want to sit around in the locker room and just talk about it. It was brought up about it. They said what they had to say, and like I said, we all just got them in our prayers, but that's the most we can do.
With the defense, it seems like you almost expect takeaways at this point after a couple weeks. Has there been an attitude change, or is it just with success comes?
Well, I don't think it's an attitude change. It's something that Vic's been big on since I got here. Get the ball out. And it just, when it comes, it comes. And, after we got it started, now it's just in everybody's mind. Just every time you go for a tackle, secure the tackle, but go for the ball also. So just one of those things, man. When one comes, they just keep coming and coming and coming.
What did you feel yesterday? Like, even the close calls are the ones that came back. Those weren't happening as much before this hot streak.
Yeah, but even though when it come out like that, you see, like, okay, he's vulnerable of us taking the ball off this guy. So, that actually boosts it even more. If a guy got him standing up and secured the tackle, you can go out and go for the ball.
How would you assess the first half of the season for you?
Preseason went really well. I had an unfortunate injury against Arizona that set me out a while. I missed like 2 weeks of practice. I came back for Atlanta. I really wasn't myself, for the first few weeks. But, I feel good now. I'm ready to go. I'm just making the most out of what I'm getting. I just got to come back, and I was earning a lot of reps through camp, through the first little bit of the preseason. But with anything, injury sets you back, and now I just got to go back out and keep making plays and prove that I want more plays.
When things were clicking for you in the preseason, and we saw you flashing in those games, what did you feel like you were doing well? What was working for you?
I don't think it was nothing different. I just think the game slowed down. I think I was more confident in everything I did. I wasn't worrying about messing up. I wasn't worrying about anything. I just kind of went back to my old ways, just playing in the backfield. That's just the type of guy I am. I like to use my first get off and win right away. Win in the first second is the type of guy I am. If I win in the first second, it's going to be a good down for me. So I just kind of went back to that, and I had some opportunities there. Arizona game to start where the King was out, and I just wanted to make the most of it. You don't get many opportunities like that in the league to come out and start, and I did, and it was my first one. Even though it was the preseason, it meant something to me. So I just wanted to come out and put on a good performance, which I did up until the last sack where I hurt myself.
Joel was suspended 10 games today. You mentioned in the statement that he had some trouble with concussion or head injury. Have you seen him around? Did you notice any of that?
No comment on.
Thanks, guys.
Thanks, Justin.
Scott Frost, head coach.
Trey, you spoke after the game yesterday just about Zach and how he was like one of the first guys to talk to you after you signed and everything. When you heard about the fact that they were even considering maybe amputating his leg after that injury, what were your emotions like when you heard that?
Well, I didn't really want to believe it. I couldn't believe it. I didn't realize that was even a possible consequence of having a dislocated knee. So when I heard that, that was like the last thing that I was expecting to hear. Obviously, you wouldn't want that to happen to anybody, especially somebody who I personally, have kind of leaned on since I've been here as a older vet and a role model. But I'm glad that he's doing well, and I'm sending him all the positive energy that I can, and hope that he's back 100% soon.
Trey, you alluded to your first interaction with him yesterday after the game. What do you remember about that? The first time you
On
met
the
him?
field?
No, you said that like you were new in the building when you first got here, and
Yeah.
he came up to you and made you feel welcome. What do you remember about that?
I can't remember exactly if I was on the field or if I was headed on the way out to the field, but it was it wasn't a full pad practice. I remember he had his hat on backwards, and the dude was just like, "What's up, bro?" And I'm like, "Oh, what's up, man?" And he was like one of the second, he probably was the first player that I talked to outside of the receivers. I already knew Kendall coming in, but this was the first fresh face that I had spoken to. And he was real cool, smile on his face. And he was just like, "What's up, bro? My name's Zach." And I was like, "Oh, what's up, man? I'm Trey. Nice to meet you." And from there on, I was like, "All right, cool. We got us a solid guy right here, and I'm gonna lean on him." And from there, I asked, we had a little dialogue. Where'd you play before? How many years? Blah blah blah. It's the typical stuff. And from that point on, I was just like, this is a solid guy. I like him a lot. And from then on, it was just where it is now.
A situation like that for you, to be with another team preseason, changes, you got a new team. For a player to extend himself to, kind of offer his hand or a welcome like that, what does it mean to you, considering the circumstances that you were in at the time where things were kind of happening fast and you were in an unfamiliar place?
It's good. I mean, it's good to have a guy come in there and make this strange place for me feel like home. And, he welcomed me with open arms, just like everybody else did. He just did it fast. He was actively doing it. And that's what I really appreciated from Zach. And I feel like that was just something that was really important to me. And that's part of the reason why when something bad happened to him, it hurt even more. So like I said, I wish him well. And, who knows what's going to happen, but, I wish him well.
You have Hinton, who just got here. You have Wheaton, who, whenever he gets healthy, he's been banged up kind of since camp. What have you learned about how long it takes to develop the chemistry with the quarterback? And what is the challenge of trying to do it on the fly when the season's going on?
I mean, it's for me personally. I didn't have the luxury of being able to be here for the preseason and build that rapport with Mitch. So everything that I've been doing, and in the first 2 weeks that I was here, I was inactive, and then the third I was cut. So the next 4 weeks after that is really what I had outside of the time on the scout team running with Mitch back when Mike was quarterback to build that rapport. And you're learning on the fly. You only get a certain amount of time during the day to run plays, and the rest is done in the classroom, like studying plays and stuff like that. So it is a tough task to build a rapport with somebody on the fly, somebody that you've never thrown with, because there's nuances between different quarterbacks, and stuff that you got to get adjusted to, stuff that you can only get with reps, and so that's just going to come with time.
Were there tricks or any shortcuts you used to make it go?
No, like I said, that rapport is built with reps on the field, in pads. That's when that time is built, and we only get so many days to do that. And so there's no other shortcut. I mean, you can sit in the classroom, and obviously that will help. That'll help the mental aspect of it, knowing your assignments. But as far as seeing the ball come out of his hand, being where you're expected to be with the defender guarding you, the only way that you can do that is through repetition on the field.
Is that something that clicks when you do have success in a game, like on Sunday?
The chemistry? Yeah, it definitely clicks. You start to feel more comfortable. You start to be able to anticipate more based on previous plays, how they came out, the outcome of those plays, and that's kind of what the game is kind of based on, anticipation and execution, and that's something that, like I said, is just built through in practice and in in-game situations, and then you go from there with that momentum.
Trey, if you as an NFL receiver were given the power to define what a catch is, how would you define it?
As long as the ball is in my hands and it never touched the ground, and I get up with the ball, then that's a catch. So, I mean, there's situations where did he have control when he fell on the ground or whatever. And I don't know how the refs do that. I don't know anything about that. All I know is that if I catch the ball and I fall down on the ground and the ball doesn't hit the ground and it never leaves my body, regardless of if it's in my hand or something, and the play's over and I got the ball in my hands, that's a catch as far as I'm concerned.
When you look at where you guys have come from over the last 3-4 weeks, in terms of opening up the playbook more and seeing you guys going downfield a little bit more, give me some idea from the practice field, the actual execution in the game, how far you've come with Mitch Trubisky now.
I think that the progress that we've made is really, you can really see it just in our stats alone. Before this past game, I had like 3 career catches or something like that. And then this past game was a breakout, unfortunately. It doesn't matter because we lost. But I'm just saying, as far as me and Trubisky are concerned, it has came around. It's getting better. It's progressing, as we can see through the numbers. And then my expectation, as long as the opportunity is still there, I'm going to do everything I can to make that progress continue so that we can be in the best situation to win out, really, is the goal. So, yeah, I mean, to answer your question, the progress is there, and it's a work in progress. But,
It's starting to feel that flow.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, you start to get a little, you start to get comfortable. You start to be able to run your routes a little more, fluidly, and you're not so robotic in terms of thinking before the ball is snapped about everything that has to happen in this play in order for it to work. You just kind of just do it subconsciously, muscle memory. So that's the goal, is to get to that point where there's no more thinking, there's no more questions. It's just throw and catch, first down, touchdown, just like that.
Trey, the long completion yesterday, the 45-yarder, when you watched it again, what elements do you feel like made the play, and what can be replicated, built on and done again for you guys to get more of those?
So I mean, I think that I think we just caught the defense in a vulnerable situation. Honestly, we were stacked on the right, and we had a little switch release at the line. That can be tough to diagnose as a defender. And once you make a defensive back uncomfortable, you break down his cushion. It's usually the ball's in my court now. I broke down your cushion. Now there's some time for me to get open. And that's what I did. I just beat the safety across the face, and there was nobody over there. I was wide open, and Mitch put a dime right on the money. I caught it and got everything that I could, and we're moving on down the field.
You mentioned it, that you were cut 3,
Something like that, yeah.
To go from that to almost 100 yards in the season, what is that journey been like for you? And does it make you appreciate the moment of success?
Definitely. I mean, when I got cut, I was at the point where I was thinking like maybe I'm not good enough, to do this. Maybe I wasn't as good as I thought I was, but that was a short-lived little lapse in my, character or whatever the word is for that. I soon got back on and was like, you're gonna drag me out of here before I just quit. So I did my time on practice squad. I got an opportunity to get back on the active roster. It didn't do much the first 2 weeks that I was there, but then the opportunity came. Still left some things out there personally, some plays out there that I would love to have back, but you can't. But with what I was given and what we created as an offense scheme wise and stuff like that, I think I made the best of it, and I'm just hoping to stack those kind of performances on top of each other, because that's really what's going to keep you around.
Who did you turn to when you weren't sure that you were cut out for this?
Just, friends, close friends, family. Just leaning on those people. That small core of people that your support group that you need to have, and when times are getting tough. Career up to this point has been a big roller coaster. Really. I just never knew, ever. I never knew. I was just, I'm here another week. I made it to another week. Cool. And that's really what I've been rolling with. I've been, giving everything I got, doing everything I can to make sure that these people around here know that I'm, I want to help. I can help. And that's really what I'm controlling what I can control. Giving the opportunities that I'm given, I'm taking advantage of them. That's all I can do.
You kind of went from meet the best to meet the press now. When you think back in that receiver group, in that room, how many guys was you recognized when that opportunity is there to make a difference? If you make that difference, how much your career can change?
Are you asking me how many of the guys recognize how much my career? Well, I mean, I'm sure all of them do. That's something that we all go through. It just takes, like I said, it just takes consistency in this league, and one game isn't gonna change your career. So this game, by far, is not gonna do anything to change the course of my career, but it gives me an opportunity to change the course of my career personally, and of this organization, who I really want to help have some success. So the only way you can do that, like I said, is stacking these good performances on top of each other. Without the consistency, nobody's gonna trust you. Nobody's gonna give you a job. So that's where I'm at, and that's where we're kind of at as a team, is stacking those wins. What's better than 2, 3 wins? What's better than 3, 4? That's how it goes.
Back to Zach for a second. Did you know about his career, his history, and the number of injuries he's come back from? How much did you know about?
I didn't know any about. I did not know anything about that, actually. I did not know that he had an injury history. So I just found that out like the other day. They're like, oh man, like, this sucks, like, for him. And I'm like, is this something that happens often or something like that? Apparently he had an injury history, and I didn't know anything about that. Why would I? I didn't, I wouldn't ask a guy about, that gruesome stuff. But
it's just the kind of guy that he is. You wouldn't talk about that in the locker room.
It wouldn't have came up in common conversation about his past injuries. I haven't seen him since he's got hurt this past time, so he wouldn't. There was really no reason for him to bring up his injury report, to me at least.
Are you surprised at all to hear that he has come back from multiple injuries and has just come back and come back and come back?
Surprised? No, because not at this point. No, because I know who he. Now I know. I got a feel for the kind of guy that he is, and he doesn't seem like he would let any obstacle get him down and take him out. So, I hope he can come back from this one. That's what I would love to see. But you know, I don't know. So.
Trey, as sad
Thanks,
as
guys.
the injury is tragic,
Flexible.
is it giving you, the good news is Zach's going to be okay. This is about his career and his leg, but is it giving you pause to be reflective or philosophical at all about how fragile this whole NFL life, this whole career can be?
Definitely, and his injury is not that didn't click the light bulb. I knew that from day one that, you know, it could all come to an end off of a blocking play. As far as I'm a receiver, I could be blocking somebody and you know something bad happens. So you do rehab and preventative things throughout the week to prevent, you know, whatever you can. But you know, freak accidents happen all the time, and it's really out of your control. At that point, you just gotta get your mind right and, you know, work through the rehab to come back.
Thanks, everyone.
Thank you.